Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 252 based on novel. So let's start. You two, you know how to come back. Sister Yu Wei had just returned to the hall and was immediately educated by the gloomy Yu Tianyu. Dad, we knew we were wrong. Yu Wei pouted and hurried to Yu Tianyu to support him, as if she knew she was wrong. Humph. You two, if you run out like this, if something happens, what will I tell your mother? Yu Tianyu said with a cold snort. Didn't we come back safely? Yu Wei whispered. Father, this is the material. After being educated for a while, Yu Ran took out a rather exquisite collection ring from her bosom. In the collection ring, it undoubtedly contained materials for repairing the space teleportation formation. It's been hard work for the two of you. Let's go down and rest first. I have something to talk to this little friend. Yu Tianyu directly took Najier over, and then carefully put it away. Then let's go down first. Xiao Yang saved us twice, Daddy, don't embarrass him, Yu Wei said softly, and then ran away without a trace. This girl. Yu Tianyu Fang couldn't help laughing as he watched the two girls leave. Senior is really lucky to have such two daughters. Xiao Yang also laughed. Okay, don't do this. You have a lot of secrets in this kid. The next moment, Yu Tianyang said slightly. Xiao Yang frowned. Obviously, what does this guy mean? Could it be that the holy flame or fighting spirit in his body has been discovered, and this old guy is going to kill people and steal them? Xiao Yang couldn't help but his breath became fierce. If Yu Tianyu made any wrong move, he would act immediately. Although the strength of Sanqing Dozian in the later stage was enough to make him unable to eat, but in the worst case, Xiao Yang could only fight back. Okay, you guy, I'm just curious, I don't mean anything to you. And your strength is extremely tyrannical. I have a hunch that this time the ratio of Dongju will be a very good seedling. When the time comes, my two daughters are going too, so they will inevitably take care of each other. Yu Tianyu said. Take care. Xiao Yang's head was full of black lines. This rain was not bad, she was strong and thoughtful, but this Yue was another matter. Thank you little friend this time, otherwise the fifth elder and Yi Sheng of Kuya Zhai will be troublesome. Yu Tianyu said. Then Yi Sheng seems to have been severely injured by my soul power attack, and Yuan was injured. I'm afraid these guys won't give up so easily. Xiao Yang didn't hide anything, he said. The powerhouses in the late stage of the two-star Dozian were still an extremely tyrannical pressure for Xiao Yang, so this made Xiao Yang not obliterate them at that time. Little friend Xiao Yang, don't worry, since you are my daughter's savior, then you are naturally a distinguished guest of our Yuzong. If Kuya Zhai wants to make trouble with this, I will be the first to disagree with Yu Tianyu. Yu Tianyu also stated instantly. His tough attitude. That kid will thank senior first. Xiao Yang cupped his hands and smiled. In the next time, it will take some time to repair the space teleportation formation. You might as well stay in our Yuzong, and feel free to speak up if you need anything. Our Yuzong's power is similar to their Kuya Zhai, so you can rest assured about safety, Yu Tianyu said. Then it's better to be respectful than to obey. Xiao Yang responded. Sect Master, it's not good. Just as the two of them were chatting happily, a rush of guards rushed in directly from the gate of the mansion. What's the etiquette of being flustered? What's wrong? Yu Tianyu reprimanded before asking. The master of Kuya Zhai took their third young master, Yi Sheng, to the door of our mansion, saying that he wanted us to hand over the murderer who murdered Yi Sheng, otherwise. The guard said hesitantly. Otherwise what? Yu Tianyu seemed to have expected it long ago, and was not too surprised. Otherwise, we will step down our Yuzong. The guard whispered. It's arrogant. This Yi Kuei is really getting more and more arrogant. Let's go, we'll meet them when we go out. Yu Tianyu spoke directly, and then Xiao Yang followed. Yu Tianlaroa, you hand over to me the murderer who killed my son, otherwise today, even if it is a fight to lose both, you will still have to ask for an explanation. At the door of the mansion, dozens of well-trained people from Yuzong the guards immediately became vigilant, waiting for Yu Tianyu's arrival. Hey, what's wrong? Isn't this the entrance of Yuzong's mansion, Yi Ku and Yi Sheng, the current masters of Kuya Zhai? This Yi Sheng's breath is very disordered, and I think his origin is unstable. Hihi, Yi Sheng has been suave all day long, so now he'll be punished. It looks like he deserves it. Keep your voice down, Yi Ku is like this, you want to die. Some of the crowd gathered around and said each and every sentence in a very lively manner. This little bastard, I will give you a taste of how life is worse than death. Yuzong was standing in front of the gate of Yuzong's mansion, but his face was extremely ugly. It was obvious that Xiao Yang's soul attack gave too serious injury. Even with the background of their Kuya Zhai, there is nothing they can do. Haha, what kind of wind is blowing the leaves of Kuya's Hai today? After a while, Yu Tianyu and Xiao Yang slowly appeared at the door and laughed. Yu Tianyu, you are too embarrassed to say it. Yi Ku saw Yu Tianyu, and immediately burst out in anger. Isn't this Yisheng's nephew? Why is his breath so sluggish? What's the matter? Yu Tianyu looked at Yisheng, who was beside him, with a look of surprise. Yi Ku couldn't help but burst into blue veins on his hands, and was extremely angry. Yu Tianyu, I'm not talking nonsense with you. That person you are, is the culprit who injured my son. You handed him over to me. How do you understand this matter? Yi Ku stared at Xiao Yang, wishing to eat half of Xiao Yang raw, extraordinarily fear. Did you say this? This guy is the chief pharmacist that our Yuzong just recruited. Our Yuzong secretly sent someone to pick him up. Unexpectedly, he was intercepted and killed by the gangster on the way. However, the pharmacist was simply too powerful, and he shot directly and was seriously injured. Bad guy. Really, Sir Xiao Yang? Yu Tianyu is also an old fox, and Yu Ran secretly told himself that Yisheng was repelled by Xiao Yang's soul attack, hence this scene. Sect Master Yu said yes. Thanks, Sect Master Yu sent the elites of the sect to pick me up, but halfway through, I encountered an ambush by a gangster, and I accidentally failed to control the power of my soul, seriously injuring the gangster, and I don't know how the gangster is injured now. Xiao Yang laughed, deliberately pretending to be somber. Yu Tianyu. You're deceiving people too much. Yi Ku was very angry at Xiao Yang's acting like this, and couldn't help roaring in exasperation. I think it's a coincidence that the gangster who tried to kill us is exactly the same as the young master in front of him. At the end of the sentence, Xiao Yang did not forget to make up for the knife. Father. Yisheng heard that he was so humiliated, and felt resentment in his heart. Wait and see. Let's go. After Yi Ku finished speaking, the person with Kuyi Zhai slowly disappeared here. It seems that this Yu Tianyu is also a hidden old fox, but this temper. I like it. Seeing Yu Tianyu's bad idea to make Yi Ku popular, Xiao Yang also smiled and was very happy. Father, let's just forget about it. Yi Sheng and his group slowly left Yuzong's mansion. On the way, Yi Sheng thought more and more angrily. This matter is not that simple. I'm afraid we need to think about it in the long run. Yi Ku shook his head, obviously just a few times. The soul power that Xiao Yang radiated invisible, compared to Yi Ku's previous encounter with any strong person who cultivated soul power, must be strong. However, the power of the soul is hard to guard against. Even if it is as powerful as a 3-star fighting immortal like him, he is extremely vigilant against the powerhouse who cultivates the soul. After all, once the soul is injured, it is extremely serious. So without enough confidence, Yi Ku didn't dare to make a rash move. After all, he represented the entire Kuya's Hai. If he fell, the entire Kuya's Hai would also collapse. But Yi Sheng was still unwilling. No hurry, wait until the repair of the space teleportation formation is completed, and then go to Dongju. You have the time and means to clean them up. Let them dance for a while. Furthermore, when they enter the space teleportation formation to repair, it will be the real decisive battle. Yi Ku shook his head and said. Just when Yu Tianyu and Xiao Yang appeared, Yi Ku realized that Yu Tianyu's aura seemed to be stronger than before. Yi Ku and Yu Tianyu are both the strongest in Yecheng, the late Samsung Dozian. If it's stronger than this, I'm afraid. I hope my guess is wrong, otherwise the old guy Yu Tianyu breaks through, and our Kuya Zhai will be the first to be attacked. When I go back today, I have to contact the people of that force. After all, their repair materials have arrived, so I'm afraid it's not too early. After Yi Ku finished speaking, he slowly returned to his mansion. Thank you for what happened just now, Senior. Seeing Yu Tianyu helping him out of the siege, Xiao Yang felt grateful. After all, Yi Ku was a genuine 3-star fighting immortal. If there is no such tyrannical Yu Tianyu, the support, I am afraid, is too strong for the current Xiao Yang. It doesn't matter, our Yuzong and their Kuya's Hai are dead enemies, so it's a good thing to be so happy. Yu Tianyu laughed. I think your little friend's soul power is quite high, and the matter of refining the pharmacist just now is really serious, but I don't know your little friend's soul power. Yu Tianyu seemed to have noticed something and spoke slowly. There is no doubt that this guy Xiao Yang can severely injure Yisheng with one blow with his soul power, and even damage the source, so his soul power is probably not low. To be honest, Sect Master Yu, I am indeed a pharmacist, but the chief pharmacist is still the job. I am free and easy by nature, and I don't like to be restrained. Xiao Yang said with a smile. The golden scales aren't something in the pool, so it's not hard to force others. Yu Tianyu didn't mean to force it, but Xiao Yang refused, but felt a little pity. I don't know why sect master you asked me about my soul power. Xiao Yang naturally wouldn't be fooled by this guy, a chief pharmacist. Ask about the soul power of the little friend because we need a strong man who is proficient in soul power to repair the space teleportation formation. At this moment, Yu Tianyu took the lead and walked towards the mansion, and when he turned around, Xiao Yang clearly when he noticed that Yu Tianyu was talking about the strong man who was proficient in soul power, he frowned. Need someone who is proficient in soul power? Xiao Yang followed and returned to the hall. There are no outsiders here, so I'm not hiding anything from my little friend. The space teleportation formation was set up by the powerhouses in the Yin Soul Heaven, but it is filled with an extremely tyrannical power of space. This power can only be exerted by the powerhouses above the 5-star Dozian. In other words, is this space teleportation formation created by a 5-star fighting immortal? Xiao Yang sucked in a breath of cold air. The Lord of Soul Eater also said that in the Ghost Realm, a space teleportation formation is extremely expensive, and the most important one was set up by a 5-star fighting emperor. And the 5-star fighting immortal powerhouse, this is probably the existence of Phoenix Feather Water Chestnut in any force. Although casting space teleportation formation is a fat, but this kind of thankless thing, they rarely do it, so many reasons why the space teleportation array is extremely rare. Not bad. Yu Tianyu nodded towards Xiao Yang. The formation is damaged now, but we have already prepared the source of the damage and the repair materials, but there is still a little thing missing, which is also the most important thing. After Yu Tianyu finished speaking, he suddenly looked at Xiao Yang carefully, as if there was something wrong. Intend to be general. What else do you need? Xiao Yang was a little puzzled. These guys are all 3-star fighting immortals. Even if he tried his best, he might not be able to deal with the 3-star fighting immortals. He didn't know what medicine this guy sold in the gourd. Soul power. Yu Tianyu didn't hide it, and smiled directly. What? Soul power? When Xiao Yang heard the words, his heart was shocked and he noticed something. The casting of space formations can only be made by those who have the strength to reach the 5-star Dozian. Although as a fighting formation, I am afraid that the gap can be shortened, but according to Xiao Yang's guess, I am afraid that only my own fighting formation master has reached 40,000 core inscriptions. Only then can the space teleportation be cast. The most dangerous thing about the space teleportation formation is an element called the power of space. The core of the space teleportation formation is the power of space, and the most dangerous one is the power of space. After successfully casting the space teleportation formation, the power of space is stabilized, and there will be no danger in a short time, but as time goes by, the restraint of the power of space weakens, and many restless factors will suddenly appear, so it becomes the most dangerous. At this time, once the power of space is unstable, the space teleportation array cannot be used, otherwise it will be teleported to an unknown place. It can be said to be the end of the world. We need a strong person who is proficient in soul power. They enter the formation together to help us resist the erosion of the power of space, so as to help us complete the repair. After a while, Yu Tianyu said, watching Xiao Yang fall into contemplation. The power of this space is something that the 5-star fighting immortals are afraid of. I am a 2-star fighting immortal boy, so. Xiao Yang showed a refusal on the surface, ready to refuse, but his heart was full of laughter. Don't worry, little friend, it won't let you work in vain. If you have any needs, even if you ask, as long as it is owned by our Yuzong, it is no problem. Yu Tianyu is naturally distressed for the most important proficient soul powerhouse, and there is one in front of him. Naturally he is trying his best to win. After all, alchemists are very rare, not to mention that the ratio of Dongju is imminent at this time, and he can no longer hesitate. The promise of Xiao Yang's benefits naturally also means to win over. Although Xiao Yanji is not here, it is quite good to have good intentions. Moreover, what Xiao Yang gets from their rain sect is related to the profits brought to them by the space teleportation formation. Then, of course, is trivial. Haha, that junior is welcome. Xiao Yang heard that the old guy finally said these words, and immediately laughed slowly. And sensing Xiao Yang's malicious smile, Yu Tianyu suddenly felt that this time, he might bleed a lot. Recently, it is still guaranteed for 3 shifts. The recommended monthly ticket is 10,000 rewards and more updates. Otherwise, the body will not be able to bear the 5 shifts, and the quality will also drop a lot. I don't know what your little friend needs. Our Yuzong also has some background in Yecheng, and we should be able to give our little friends enough rewards. Yu Tianyu laughed. Yu Tianyu himself was vaguely afraid of the ferocity of the power of space in the space teleportation formation, and Xiao Yang, as an alchemist, cultivated the power of the soul, and naturally knew the horror of the power of space better than them, so no matter whatever Xiao Yang needs for export, Yu Tianyu will try his best to satisfy it. I don't want much. Sect Master Yu takes a look at these herbs. If there are any in the sect, I will take any of them. If the other sect master agrees, I am willing to exchange them for equivalent items. Xiao Yang laughed, then immediately he walked over directly, and wrote 5 medicinal herbs in the pen and ink in the hall. Heart-suppressing grass, blood lotus leaf, withered pulp, immortal rank 3rd grade soul core, 10,000 years mysterious ice. The 5 medicinal materials were written on the piece of paper by Xiao Yang in one go. These things, even in my whole life experience, I have never heard of several. Yu Tianyu picked up the piece of paper and couldn't help but be surprised. The 5 medicinal materials above, even if they are any one, are priceless and invaluable. Even with Yu Tianyu's experience, he has only seen the 2 above. I hope Sect Master Yu can help you a lot. Xiao Yang said, but Xiao Yang was extremely smart, and he deliberately wrote more 2 herbs to confuse their sight. Some kind of connection among them is tantamount to causing trouble. Little friend, you're not opening your mouth like a lion. Yu Tianyu looked at the 5 medicinal herbs and said, Sect Master Yu, I believe that you are aware of the dangers of the power of space, but I can guarantee that the power of space will not hinder you in any way to repair the space formation. Xiao Yang smiled. Obviously he must give this guy a reassurance. Otherwise the guy won't do his best to help himself. Hey, what is Xiao Yang's little friend saying? I'm relieved to have your words. Yu Tianyu said with a smile. Come here, collect all the shops in Yecheng for me. Once you find these 5 medicinal materials, you will buy them back for me at all costs. In addition, I instructed the eldest and the second lady to go to our Yuzong warehouse to see if there are any of these medicinal materials. If there is, take it directly. Yu Tianyu said. Yes. The guard heard the words, took the piece of paper from his hand, and went down to work. However, this guard is still a little puzzled. The warehouse of the Rain sect has gathered a lot of treasures. Now Xiao Yang is worthy of the sect master to open the warehouse for him, which is enough to show what shocking conditions Xiao Yang has set. The old fox would not be so willing. On the other side, Kuya's high. Thank you, Lord Zhai, for saving your life. In the hall, several figures slowly appeared here. 3rd Elder, you have worked hard for so many years, and now it's the last moment, and it's time for you to work for Kuya Zhai. Yi Ku sat in the first place and spoke slowly. These 3 elders were people who were caught by Kuya's high. They took advantage of the trouble in Yuzong's mansion to attract attention, and secretly rescued them. At this time in Yuzong's cage, Fang was just a ghost. It's just that in this hall, in addition to the 3rd Elder's Yi Ku, there is also a mysterious guy. That guy was covered in black clothes and covered his body tightly, but the gloomy and eerie ghostly aura that came out invisibly was vaguely stronger than the 3rd Elder. What are your plans? After a while, the man in black spoke slowly. This guy, just talking makes me feel frightened. How sacred is this? The 3rd Elder couldn't help but said slightly in his heart. Hehe, sir, don't be in a hurry, wait until Yuzong's people enter the space teleportation formation to repair the formation, and we will go to the formation to kill them all. Yi Kupai said with a smile. But Master Zhai, the space teleportation formation is managed by them, how do we enter? The 3rd Elder asked with some doubts. The space teleportation formation has been managed by us Kuya's High for so many years. Let them take precautions. We do a little bit, but it's not enough to enter and exit freely. Yi Ku smiled slightly, and his smile was full of treacherousness. I only need their souls, and I don't care about the rest. The man in black said coldly, and then disappeared here. Master Zhai, that was just now. Seeing the man in black disappear, the depression gradually disappeared. The 3rd Elder couldn't help asking. Remember, don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Yi Ku said. That subordinate has retired. The 3rd Elder also nodded secretly, and then stepped back directly. Yuzong, do you really think that you, a foreign sect, can compare to our native local forces? Wait, with the help of that force, when you repair the space teleportation, it will be the day when your Rain sect will perish. A gloomy voice slowly came from the hall. Yuzong Mansion. Strange, how could my father let us open the sect warehouse? There are a lot of treasures in this sect warehouse. Yu Wei said softly. It should be Xiao Yang's soul power. Yu Ran was sensitive by nature and vaguely sensed something. These 5 medicinal materials, our Yuzong only has the soul core of the 3rd rank of immortal rank now, and even this thing almost killed my father back then. If it wasn't for the father's own celestial appearance, I'm afraid. Yu Wei said with lingering fears. Okay, take it, let's go to the hall first. Father and Xiao Yang should still be waiting for us. After the second daughter finished speaking, she brought a beautiful silver box and walked towards the hall. Go! Sectmaster, I have searched inside and outside Yecheng, but there is no trace of these 5 herbs. After a while, the guards came back in a hurry. No! Xiao Yang slowly shook his head, obviously he underestimated the rarity of these medicinal materials. Hehe, little friend, don't worry, there is just 1 medicinal herb in our Yuzong warehouse. Seeing a trace of disappointment on Xiao Yang's face, Yu Tianyu hurriedly said. Oh, what? When Xiao Yang heard this, his loss immediately dissipated. The soul core of a 3rd rank immortal rank soul beast. Just as Xiao Yang asked, Dao Qianying walked in slowly with graceful steps like Qinglian. What? The soul core of an immortal rank 3rd grade soul beast? Xiao Yang was really shocked, and his body trembled strangely. Soul beasts are magical beasts themselves, and their soul cores are also demon cores. It's just that there are very few immortal level pharmacists. On the one hand, it is extremely difficult to cultivate the spiritual power of the Fairyland. In addition to refining the immortal level pills, the magic core is an indispensable thing, so the immortal level pills have a price and no city situation. After all, a magical beast whose strength can reach the level of fighting immortals is more powerful than humans of the same level, not to mention the soul core of this 3rd rank immortal level soul beast. Hehe, little friend, this thing is the soul core of a 3rd grade immortal order soul beast, a ghost cat. I don't know if you can be satisfied. Yu Tianyu couldn't help laughing when he looked at Xiao Yang's surprised appearance. As we all know, after the alchemist reaches the immortal rank, the soul core of the soul beast that is required does not need to be divided into attribute. Even if the medicinal formula you need states that you need a soul core with the water attribute, and you get a soul core with the fire attribute, you can still make medicinal pills, because the immortal level pharmacist can easily neutralize the 2 attributes. This is one of the outstanding features of the immortal rank alchemist. Fast, give the things directly to Xiao Yang. The next moment, Yu Tianyu laughed. Yu Ran nodded slightly, then slowly paced to Xiao Yang's side. Sir Xiao Yang, this is the soul core of the 3rd grade immortal rank soul beast. It belongs to you from now on. Yu Ran's sweet voice echoed in the hall. Xiao Yang's soul power has reached the Fairyland now, and Yu Ran is also willing to be called an adult by the arrogant Yu Ran. Thank you. Xiao Yang was not the one who hesitated and took the silver box directly. Just after taking over the silver box, his keen soul force immediately probed it away. After all, he couldn't listen to other people's one-sided words. It's better to check this kind of thing in person. This guy is quite attentive. As an old fox, Yu Tianyu naturally noticed Xiao Yang's actions easily, but he didn't say much. After all, real gold is not afraid of fire. Such strong fluctuations are indeed the soul core of the 3rd rank immortal order soul beast. After a while, a bright smile appeared on Xiao Yang's face. Since the reward has been received, Xiao Yang Xiaoyu should go down to rest today. Tomorrow at noon, we will enter the space formation and start repairing. Yu Tianyu said. Yes. Xiao Yang nodded lightly, and then slowly rested under the leadership of the guards. Xiao Yang knew that the reason why Yu Tianyu gave him the reward first was because he was afraid that he would not be able to do his best. Now that Xiao Yang has received the reward, he would naturally try his best to help them. You too, go down and rest too. After we enter the space teleportation formation, remember to keep an eye on the people who are staring at Kuya Zhai, they seem to be a little off. Yu Tianyu explained. Yes. The 2 girls nodded lightly. One day is fleeting, when the scorching sun hangs high on the 2nd day, it symbolizes the arrival of noon. Are everyone here? Yuzong's backyard, in a quiet bamboo forest, the figure of Yu Tianyu stood in front of him and asked. Apart from Xiao Yang himself and the sect master of the Rain sect, there were also many powerful figures present. When Yu Tianyu's voice just fell, a figure in white robe slowly appeared in front of everyone, and his eyes scanned the crowd lightly. Old Master Yuzong Great Elder, Rain Curtain, this time I and the sect master will lead everyone to enter. In the space formation. Remember, you must follow us when you enter this time, otherwise, once you get lost in it, I am afraid that the 3-star fighting immortal powerhouse will have a narrow life. Everyone heard the words and nodded lightly. They knew in their hearts that this trip was extremely dangerous, and Kuya Zhai was staring at them in the dark, so they could only send the elders and the sect masters, plus some strong people with good strength to go, and the rest strength, of course, is to prevent withered leaves. Elder, let's do it. Yu Tianyu didn't waste too much time seeing that everyone had arrived. Great Elder Yu Mu nodded slightly, and then with Yu Tianyu, there was no expression on the indifferent face, and a tyrannical force on his hands slowly condensed in front of everyone. The strength of this sect master Yu is also ranked first in Yi Cheng. The strength of this great elder should only be weaker than him. Xiao Yang said in his heart. Tear. At the moment Xiao Yang was thinking, in front of everyone, a silver space gate was also completely stabilized. Let's go. Yu Tianyu looked at the silver space gate in front of him, the corners of his mouth wriggled slightly, then he waved his hand and stepped into the space gate first, and disappeared in the blink of an eye, followed by Xiao Yang and the others. Boom boom boom. A tingling terrifying aura slowly appeared. With such terrifying spatial fluctuations, the people outside the bamboo forest, a total of 10 people, all came to the space formation. Everyone just came to the space formation, and suddenly a deep silver power filled the surroundings, giving them a very tyrannical oppression. And when the figure of the last person appeared in the space formation, Yu Tianyue's indifferent face had a slight smile. I'm afraid it will take several days to repair the space formation. During this period, I should pay more attention. I always feel that something is wrong. Yu Tianyu Ju Jiao glanced around and then said to the crowd. Well. Several other people also knew the importance of this matter, and they did not dare to neglect and said slowly. Everyone stood in the space formation, and suddenly felt a burst of space power that contained the power of destruction, and even a rather hot breath was blowing towards them. At this time, in Xiao Yang's body, the power of the holy flame and the core of the bucket continued to rotate, exuding a trace of tyrannical power, dissipating the power of space that was trying to attack Xiao Yang. The so-called space formation is a powerful force above the 5-star fighting immortal. With the ability to mobilize the power of space, a space is torn out. This space can make people easily shuttle between cities of various sizes, quite a lot. Convenience. However, the space teleportation array also has its drawbacks, that is, every once in a while, the powerhouse must be regularly maintained by the 5-star Dozian or above, otherwise once those space forces become disordered, the space teleportation array will not work. Then there are moving tools, thus becoming a train to hell. This is the power of the unstable space. Xiao Yang grabbed it casually, and suddenly caught a faint silver light in this void. The silver light contained extremely terrifying power. There is even a hint of heat. This is just the outermost space power. What we need to do is to go to the core of the space formation and repair the damaged area. The power of space there is extremely violent. Compared with this place, it is undoubtedly more than 100 times more tyrannical. The Elder of the Rain screen is currently staring at a place where the silver light is extremely bright, and slowly opens his mouth. Hearing this, everyone nodded, because they all knew that the power of this space was enough to easily obliterate the 5-star fighting immortal. If it weren't for the power of the soul, which happened to be its nemesis, I'm afraid they would have the guts to enter it rashly. Come with me, don't be scattered. This power of space is extremely unstable and its forms are changeable. If it is involved, I'm afraid you can't imagine the consequences. Construction started. After a short while, Yu Tianyue's figure moved and suddenly went to the place where the silver light was shining brightly. That place was the core of the space formation and the place where the power of space was most concentrated. The overall area of the space teleportation formation is probably the size of Xiao Yang on the Dochi continent, as large as the space torn apart by the ancient Soul Realm. This point, just from Xiao Yang's flight for a quarter of an hour, they still haven't gotten close to that silver dazzling light. At first Xiao Yang felt that the silver light spot was the core of the space formation, but after flying for a long time, it didn't get too close, which gave Xiao Yang a new understanding of this space teleportation formation. However, after flying for a long time, Xiao Yang and everyone felt that a rather tyrannical oppression suddenly filled his body. Little friend Xiao Yang. Yu Tianyu said to Xiao Yang as if he had sensed the oppression of the power of space. Of the 10 people here, only he and the Great Elder are 3-star fighting immortals, and most of the others are only 2-star fighting immortals. Naturally, it is quite difficult to resist such a tyrannical space force in this space formation. I know. Hearing this, Xiao Yang frowned, and then a steady stream of dazzling soul power emerged, and then covered everyone's bodies. Whew! It finally feels better. Thank you, Sir Xiao Yang. After Xiao Yang released his soul power, several other figures who were uncomfortable also signaled to Xiao Yang. Everyone, be careful, this space power seems to be undergoing some kind of special mutation. Just as Xiao Yang released his soul power, he suddenly smelled an extremely dangerous aura from the Silver Light group not far away. This guy does have a second chance. The originally indifferent Great Elder Rain Curtain was originally dissatisfied with the fact that the sect master did not hesitate to take out the third-rank immortal rank soul core as a reward, but now after seeing Xiao Yang's dazzling soul power, is also dumb. Everyone nodded and continued to move forward. After a quarter of an hour, Xiao Yang had exerted a considerable amount of soul power on everyone else's body to protect their bodies. On the other hand, Yu Tianyu and the Great Elder had no resistance at all. The 3-star fighting immortal powerhouse is indeed well deserved. It's almost there. And this feeling only lasted for half a moment. At noon, everyone slowly came to the place of Silver Light. In this Silver Light group, the core of the space formation is impressively located. I will enter it to repair it in a while, and the first elder, Xiao Yang, and other people will be responsible for intercepting the power of space outside. We can't let the power of space approach the Silver Light group, otherwise we will only give up our previous efforts this time. Yu Tianyu said in a deep voice. Repairing the space teleportation formation is not only related to the interests of their rain sect, but also to the ratio of whether some of their rain sect's talents can participate in Dongju, so Yu Tianyu is naturally very attentive. Sect Master Yu, don't worry, since I promised you, then I, Xiao Yang, will naturally not hide it. Xiao Yang said. It's so good, I'll go. Yu Tianyu didn't hesitate, his figure swept away, and went directly into the Silver Light group to start repairing. And Yu Tianyu just poured into the Silver Light group, and suddenly this silver space suddenly shook, and a terrifying space force that made everyone feel restless slowly radiated. The power of silver space with a size of 100 meters, directly transformed into thunder, shot at the remaining 9 people suddenly. Its speed is fast, and its attack is strong. I am afraid that the ordinary 2-star fighting immortals the strong in the early and midterm will be seriously injured in an instant. Presumptuous. Seeing this scene, the Great Elder Rain Curtain suddenly raised his breath, and then burst out with a loud shout, and a dazzling silver grudge entwined directly. The thunder attribute fighting Qi in the middle stage of Samsung Dozian, the strength of this Great Elder is also extremely terrifying. Xiao Yang couldn't help but muttered as he watched the Great Elder easily decipher the power of space. After all, among all the attributes, the thunder element is undoubtedly one of the most destructive attributes. Just after Xiao Yang finished speaking, his dazzling soul power sensed a bad premonition, and hurriedly raised his head to look above the void. It was an extremely dazzling white light group. The white light group just appeared, it gave everyone an extremely tyrannical sense of oppression, and there seemed to be some tyrannical creatures hidden in the light group. What is that? Some figures couldn't help but say, after all, they were also the elites of the Rain sect, so they didn't panic. This is. But the next moment, after seeing the dazzling white light in the pupils of the Great Elder Rain Curtain, he couldn't help shrinking tightly. Little friend Xiao Yang, use your soul power to break him, the elder said suddenly and hastily. Soul power, break it for me. Hearing the words of the first elder, Xiao Yang also realized something, and then he immediately attacked with a dazzling soul. Boom. As Xiao Yang made such a move, the dazzling white light group slowly disintegrated, forming a giant object that caught everyone's sight. A deafening roar suddenly emerged from the shattered ball of light. What caught everyone's sight was a giant dragon of 1,000 feet covered with silver rays of light. The dragon's body is silver as a whole, and the silver scales protect it tightly. Through the silver scales, it seems to be filled with an unusually terrifying power. That power is nothing but the power of space, and at this time the silver 1,000-foot dragon just appeared, and it immediately gave that heavy feeling to all the people present. This guy hasn't woken up yet. Just when everyone was surprised, Xiao Yang said slowly, because of Xiao Yang's huge soul power, he discovered that the pupils of this giant dragon were actually closed, and although the aura was tyrannical, but if he fell asleep, I'm afraid it wouldn't be too much trouble. But the good times didn't last long. The next moment, following the attack of Xiao Yang's original dazzling soul tilde, the huge dragon's eyes of the silver 1,000-foot dragon slowly opened, and then faced the person in front of him. Xiao Yang, everyone shouted loudly. Everyone was disturbed by the roar of the giant dragon at such a close distance. If it wasn't for Xiao Yang's soul protection, I'm afraid that just such a roar would have driven them away. This guy, the target doesn't seem to be us. Some figures in the crowd couldn't help but say. The silver giant dragon just woke up, and after roaring, it had no plans to attack Xiao Yang and his party. This guy is actually the product of the power of disordered space. It seems that the space teleportation formation is not being repaired. I'm afraid this place will become the hatchery of this monster. The first Elder Rain Curtain opened his mouth slightly, and his voice was full of chills. No, this guy wants to directly attack the core of the formation. The core of the formation has been completely destroyed, and this guy will have a new life. Absolutely can't let it destroy the core of the formation. Let's do it together. The next moment, the silver dragon twisted its huge body, and the dragon tail swayed directly towards the core of the formation. It carried such tyrannical power, no doubt, if it hit the formation, the core of the law, I am afraid it will be instantly obliterated. Go. I will solve the oppression of you by the power of space. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and more powerful soul power emerged directly, and then covered the crowd. This video will end here.